Well guys, we're still in January, which frightens me just saying that, and this is a release that was originally supposed to come out on Christmas Day but was pushed back into January. Never a good sign. Is there any way this movie can be good? Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit is directed by Kenneth Branagh and stars Chris Pine, Keira Knightley, Kenneth Branagh, and Kevin Costner. Now this is a reboot of sorts of the Jack Ryan character. I grew up watching the Jack Ryan movies. I love Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. The Sum of All Fears was a bit of a misstep though, to say the least. So in this movie, Chris Pine plays a young Jack Ryan. He's a Marine, he gets injured, and then he has to go into this rehabilitation program where he meets Keira Knightley's character, who is the doctor who helps rehabilitate him. Eventually, he gets a chance to work with Kevin Costner in the CIA, and that's when the movie really starts, and we learn of this financial scheme that Kenneth Branagh's character, who is a Russian in this movie, is involved with. And they're trying to figure out if this guy is basically trying to start the next Great Depression. Now, I wasn't really looking forward to seeing this movie simply because of the time that it's coming out, and that tends to happen a lot in Hollywood where movies get pushed into January. It means it's probably not that great. To my surprise, this is the first good movie released in 2014. I actually really enjoyed Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. It took a while for the movie to really show itself, if you know what I mean. For a while I was kind of wondering where the movie was going until the main plot really started to kick in. And from then on, I was actually really invested in this movie. The characters were interesting, I was invested in the lead character, I thought Chris Pine did a good job in the movie. The action sequences were handled fairly competently. There was one fight scene that of course used that quick cut shaky thing that's been going on lately, but it wasn't like Alex Cross or anything where you literally can't see what's going on. I just wished it was a little bit better filmed. But for the most part, Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit actually surprised me quite a bit. Chris Pine did a really good job as Jack Ryan. I think that he got the naivete of the character, you know, where he doesn't really know that much about what's going on in the more physical world of the CIA, where people are in these gun battles and, you know, spying and life and death situations. I really like that about the character of Jack Ryan because that's one of the best things that Harrison Ford brought to that character, was that vulnerability. He was never this hero. He was never this guy who was just like the ultimate ass kicker of CIA agents. He was an analyst, and he unfortunately got into certain situations that compromised him and those he loved. And they really captured that well, I thought, because there are times in this movie where he has to step up, and he does get his ass handed to him sometimes. It's not like it's just a 100% Jack Ryan's an awesome hero for America guy. He does get his ass kicked quite often in this movie, and I like that about his character because it added that level of vulnerability that the character of Jack Ryan needs. One of my biggest surprises in this movie was actually Kenneth Branagh as the main villain. And sometimes when a director puts himself in such a major role like that, I don't know, but he actually did a really good job in the movie. Am I the master of deciphering correct accents? No. But he actually gave a pretty menacing performance. Shots lingered quite often at him just staring at people, and you really started to think, this guy's kind of a dick. Keira Knightley also was good. It was nice to see her doing an American accent. I actually find that oddly very sexy. I've never heard her do an American accent before. Kevin Costner also pretty good in this movie, having a bit of a career resurgence as of late. I liked his character. I thought he added that mature depth to the movie where you have a character who's seen a lot, he's been through a lot, he was hardened, you know, nothing really fazed him that much, and I liked him in this movie. Where the movie falters is some of the pacing issues and some of the story issues. I didn't think the dialogue was poorly handled, but there were certain parts of the movie, particularly like the first 25 minutes, where I was just like, where is this going? Is this gonna start anytime soon? And I'm not saying it was boring, it just felt very jumbled. It was almost like they weren't sure what type of movie they were making until it hit Act 2, where the plot really started to kick in, and then the movie became a movie, and it was very entertaining after that. But up until then, I was like, is this gonna go anywhere? You know what I mean? Really, what the Jack Ryan books and movies were always about were the characters and the situations, and they tried to present something believable. There are times when the movie does come off a little hokey, just a couple scenes where you're like, really, that's how they're gonna play that? But for the most part, I was actually very surprised by Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, and I'm hoping they make more, but that the second one has more focus, because this movie didn't really have that until the plot kicked in. But once it did, I was enjoying myself. I'm gonna give Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit a B. It's actually not that bad, especially for a January release. So guys, if you see the movie, let me know what you thought of it below. What's your favorite Jack Ryan film? I would have to say mine is probably Clear and Present Danger, but Hunt for Red October might just etch its way above that. Guys, thanks as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.